you're talking about is you're talking throughout the years, you especially the videos that we break down now, but you're talking about when we were at Springdale, when we were at Kingston, when we went to Highfields, New Park, Juniper, Firewalker, like specifically to those traders, to those haters, right? To those type of people, they don't understand, they don't get it. But like, I never came across a guy or a girl individuals that would ever get excited to see me like it was what it was. And I'm not trying to say I would judge a person if they were or not. I'm just like, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like when I look back at it now and guys would, be like, what you saying, bro? I'd get gassed because it rarely ever happened. And when Josh McCarthy was smoking weed in town and had Bear Gal following him and I was just walking next to him, it's like, yeah, the only reason the girls were around me was because of Josh McCarthy. And I didn't care at one point, bro. Like, that's not why I was walking around Josh McCarthy. Oh, yeah, because he's got status and he's got this and he's got that. Like, it's my bro. You know what I mean?
I was trying to make a point of, like, I'm not a simp. And even when these guys are making these freestyles or they're talking about sexual positions or they're talking about bitches and 304s and they're shooting with these bitches too.
They're like...
Imagine this. Like, they're literally hating on those very 304s, those very bitches.
Yeah, the same time they'll be on their hands and knees for them.
Funny, bro.
I'll tell you something now. You would never see me on my hands and knees for a bitch. Never in my life. Cads is a bitch. Never, ever, ever.
If Cads is like, get on your hands and knees, I'd smash your face in. Knock Cads out.
Like, I dare you to say it to my face.
A heated debate for sure. And unfortunately, that's a guy's weakness. Females.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
What I did was
I joined this person and I didn't have to, I didn't need to, but what we wanted to do, we didn't have to, bearing in mind, but we wanted to prove a point that we could get you blocked, we could get you removed, we could get you excluded, and we didn't have to, and it just shows
how thirsty and desperate they really are.
Less of a person we are, less of a human we are, and we know we believe in pronouns and all this other bullshit over here because it's the Matrix and it brought us up, you know.
Because I'm not a thirsty guy and I'm different to these guys and I'm something different for a reason. I think that's why I kind of get away with following certain people on social media and I look at them the way I do and I feel attacked and triggered because when I look at certain people, I'm like, I wish I was there. But in a same sense, you're trying to say,
but I'm not a simp. She's a female. I'm not.
You know what I mean? You start doing that thing you're doing, but then you go back to the pub. Then you go back to these places, these gyms, these clubs, these schools, these colleges. You go back to the very principle of I walked over to that guy and I was asking him, is this seat taken? Can I sit next to you? Did they give that to me? You know what I mean? It's like these girls can get that.
Yeah.
Like. What people don't understand, and it's not based on looks, like any girl that is on social media, right?
Any girl, if she really put her heart and soul into it, and she really cared enough, she would get attention. And that's what I'm trying to say, like, it's hard for men. And I'm not trying to say it's hard for me. Oh, boo-hoo, Dino didn't get attention. I got plenty of attention. I had plenty of girls conversate with me. I've been in plenty of girls' DMs. I've commented on several girls, right?
The point I'm trying to make is, for me and these guys, and even these podcasts, when you listen to these females talk about it, I listen and I'm trying to piece together like what gives you, what do you get out of it?
You's gonna say what gives you the right.
No, because certain girls they want to be in a relationship, but girls just see some just want it for free. Like some girls are like, he'll pay. I won't. I don't have to pay. I don't have to work. I don't have to do anything. And I think that's where the problem arises, because men want a hard working female. Like men want a hard working girl and a wife, but not in the sense of like you're not gonna contribute.
And to going back to the pathetic topics about being blocked and excluded from fireworker, whatever, when I do think about it, like I said, like I'm not being delusional for thinking that, Kadeem could have been Desi's boyfriend or, potentially her husband. But I think when you kind of do, like, especially when I've kind of criticized these podcasts, because there are tons and tons and tons of guys just thinking that they have the position and the platform. Like, no, dude, like you're famous for no reason.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where I kind of spot talent. I kind of have, for me personally, I wouldn't quote myself as being the most talented individual on the earth, but I do know a thing or two about, talent, and I would wholeheartedly consider myself, a young introvert / talent, like people should, watch out for or collab with or work with or whatever. But, that kind of goes both ways, especially when you kind of think about it. It's like, I think we kind of do live in a generation of people don't want to really put their whole, belief into something, like, yeah, I believe in this. Like, they just want it for a little bit and then they just want to come off of it. And I think to go back to what Dino was saying a long time ago, especially like Cads, and I kind of look at it now and I kind of think to myself, like, this very person doesn't bring anything to the table. And to many guys out here that wouldn't get involved, that wouldn't simp for a bitch's attention, wouldn't side with the bitch, like, depending on what it is, like, if it's your relative, I understand. But then I'm thinking to myself, it's like, I do believe it, because it's not hard to, to fathom it. I just want to understand, why guys do it. But to go back to it, like, why simp? Like, why go on your hands and knees for these bitches? Like, they're only gonna be there for one moment. They're gonna live off of you, right? Live off the fact that you did something for them. So why? It's like, I could do something for a female, I just choose not to, and that's because there's a lot more power to me. And my character, like, I'm like the scene scorpion. I'm powerful, right? I'm not all words. I'm not all talk. I'm not just a verbal communicator. I'm a very physical embodiment of rage and aggravation. I think that for itself, I have a selective, well, I wouldn't say selective, but like a very rare way of communicating and getting my points across the way other men aren't.
Cads struck me as somebody that didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean?